It actually started with DIY electronic music instruments that I was building, crafting your own sound with separate components. And then when I discovered how it could be played in different ways, I was really into using the same process, like sourcing information where I could find it, and applying this DIY philosophy to speaker system. We worked on a more like classical Acousmonium, and when we realized like the amount of money that was spent on like these speakers, like the maintenance, like we thought that it could be interesting to think of a lo-fi version of this kind of setup, because it's very interesting for musicians and sound artists to play on multi-channel systems. And so basically I thought in my personal practice that it could be like a new tool to the palette, sort of like a new instrument that I could play with. And if I could manage to do it in a very simple and DIY way, then it wouldn't require months of work and tons of money to make it.
There are two approaches, you know, in this like like a multi-channel audio world. One is the Acousmonium, which is this idea of create an orchestra of speakers. So each speaker is different and has its own characteristics, and you play with it. And then there is the other one, which is the most common one, is all the speakers are exactly the same and you play with the space.
Check the building, check the acoustic to understand, okay, a little bit the space where we was working, and after we start to find some speakers.
That was the main challenge at the beginning. Like we arrived, in 2 weeks the festival began without no speakers. So first thing, we need to find speakers. After that, cables and all.
Yeah, we built this Acousmonium with the speakers that we recycle from flea markets. We found it with friends, or like, and we were collecting all this.
That is crazy. It's just like 2 weeks. People come, collect this like 48 speakers, build the system. Everything is working. People come. It's like, what is going on here? It's like, yeah, you just. The people know what to do. The people are enthusiastic. The people, come and say, okay, we need this. Okay, let's go do this.
And we put some of them in special cases. There are some ventilation tubes or a sink or a lamp. This also changed the frequency response of the speaker. It was super fun. And then to building it, and start experimenting with the sounds and collaborating with artists.
Because it has this quality of different soundings, I think one of the most interesting ways to play with it is definitely to consider it as a timbre instrument, a specific thing for each speaker. Actually, it's a very different sound, and this can definitely, it does influence the composition process, because when you work on this kind of system and realize that if you move the same sound from a spot to the other, it sounds completely different because of distortion, because of the material that is used, and not because of the space itself.
The main idea I got is like there are like so many people around in the outside of Armenia, all over the world, who are like really interested in this stuff. Like they're, diving into like directly into the sound, and it's just so easy when there are people around you, who are like would like to do the same things. And the festival becomes easy with these people, So before that, the building of the festival is difficult, but with the people, it's actually, becomes more and more easy to build, to have fun, to make everything organized, to be in the center, to not be snobbish about things, to give the knowledge to other people and so on, and also take the knowledge from other people.